In this video, I'll show you how to create a scatter plot graph in Excel. If you only need to see how to do one particular step, you can click Show More at the bottom of the description below this video and click any timestamp to jump to that part of the video. And if you're building a graph of your own while watching, don't forget that you can pause and rewind at any time. So let's get started. I have a sheet already open, and I'm going to go ahead and select the data that I want to graph. Then come up here and click Insert. In Excel, graphs are called charts. I usually start by coming over here to Recommended Charts. And here's Scatter. If Scatter doesn't show up under Recommended Charts, you can always just click on the Scatter icon, and we want to select the first layout. Now let's click and drag to resize our graph to make it easier to work with. With my graph resized, let's get the correct names on each axis. So come up here and click Add Chart Element. Then Axis Titles, and click Primary Horizontal. Now click in the formula bar. You can just type a name, or I like to just type the equal sign, and then click on the axis name at the top of the data column, and hit Return. Now for the y-axis. Come back up to Add Chart Element, then Axis Titles, and this time Primary Vertical. Click in the formula bar, type the equal sign, and click on the cell with the axis name we want, and hit Return. We definitely want to change the title of our graph, so let's click on the chart title, and then click in the formula bar, and we want our title to be Y versus X. So for me, that means I need to type weight versus height, and press Return. There's no reason for our axes to start at 0. With so much white space, it's not as easy to see relationships in our data. We want our data to take up as much real estate as possible. So I'm going to click on the x-axis labels to select, then right-click, and choose Format Axis. I don't have any values below 1.3, so over here I'll type 1.3 for the minimum value. Now let's select the y-axis. All of my values look like they are greater than 25, so I'll come over here and change the minimum value to 25. We just have a few things left to do, and it looks like my sheet is back on the Home tab, so I just need to select the Chart Design tab. In the case of this scatter plot, I want to add a trend line, so I'll come back over to Add Chart Element. This time I'll select Trend Line, and for this example, I'll click Linear. That trend line is a little hard to see, so I'm going to select it. Over here, I'll click on the paint bucket, and now I'll increase the width of my line. And that looks better. Because it's still a little hard to see, I'm going to change the color. I'm still not quite happy, so let's try red. That looks much better. One other optional item, if you wish to display the R-squared value for statistical analysis, you'll find the option to add it over here by selecting this last tab. And the last thing we'll do is move our chart to its own sheet. Just click Move Chart, select New Sheet, and click OK. Your chart will open in its own sheet, keeping it out of the way of your data.